Wow, this batch brought a lot of emotions. Oh boy. What's going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today it is time to translate. Yes, we are about to translate all of the kind of like future category stuff that was just released. I actually did a translation over on Twitter that I posted while I was, having lunch during my break at work and everything. But I want to do a proper video about it because I also want to give my impressions on some of these cards because some people have really mixed emotions about both the category, certain cards, the free-to-play cards, everything. Like emotions are just flying everywhere. So I'm like, okay. We're going to look into the calm as calm as we possibly can. And we're going to first translate the cards. And then I'm just going to give my opinions on the cards themselves, the categories, and, all that kind of stuff. So, but without further ado, let's jump right into it. So first off, let's go over the physical 17 here, okay? And I should probably have it at max orbs because I want to show them at their max potential, basically. But anyway, so we have the future 17, Jinzo Ningen, Ju Nanago, and then Mirai, okay? So technically you can run him and a normal 17 together if you ever wanted to for some reason, okay? So he gets a Dokkan Awaken, he gets Fierce Battle because he Dokkan Awakens from what I'm assuming is the future Gohan medals. So anyway, his leader skill, there's better leader skills, right? No one's really uses leader skills. But anyway, he's physical key +2, HP attack and defense of 60%. Okay, nothing too bad there. And then for 3 turns, he will raise his attack whenever he supers. That's pretty cool. In fact, I believe the super animation is actually ripped directly from Fighters. Him and 18 both share the same super attack. It's ripped directly from 18 level 3 on Fighters, which is pretty cool. So I have to admit that's something pretty cool right there. And then his passive actually got a pretty good yet weird update. And I'll get to the weird and the good right now. But anyway, so tech orbs, he changes tech orbs into physical orbs, which is nothing special, basically. We already knew he could do that. His own attack and defense goes up by 70%. That is pretty nice right there. I'll admit, I was not expecting that to happen at all, but they did that, and I'm like, all right, you guys actually surprised me. I'm glad that was able to happen for you. So attack and defense up 70%. That's really nice. That means he can actually somewhat take a hit, and that's, really well. Then, this is the weird one. If your HP is 70% or below, okay, and then so no toki sarani. On top of that, he changes physical or strength orbs into agility orbs, which I kind of get the thought process behind it, right? He is meant to be run with the future AGL 17, right? They're supposed to be run together because they both have this passive where if you're below 70% health, they essentially change the orbs for each other. He changes it for 18 and she changes it for 17 here, but I'm thinking to myself, but if you're trying to set up explicitly physical orbs, say on an extreme physical team or something like that, and you're below 70%, and then all of a sudden you take the strength orbs and then that you change them to agility orbs, granted, you're not changing the physical orbs, which is, again, what physical units would want, but what if all of a sudden, because of the way the layout is and everything, what if it, like, messes it all up and you can't get certain super attacks off and everything? I don't know. I personally found it a little weird. I'm not saying it's bad by any means, but it's just like, okay, cool, I guess, but unless we get an Android category, no one's running these two together. I'm just saying that right now. I'm being blatantly honest. No one will run these two on any team, basically, unless, of course, we ever do get an Android category in the future. So other than that, though, that's pretty much it for his little Dokkan Awaken. So let's go over to 18. 18 is literally carbon copy, pretty much. I mean, they're basically carbon copies of each other. Anyway, she is agility type, key +2, HP attack and defense up 60%. Again, better agility units out there with better leader skills, so you're not really going to be using her for a leader skill. She's basically the opposite, though. Whenever she super attacks, defense goes up by 30% for 3 turns, which is pretty cool. And then her passive is literally just like her brother. She changes physical orbs into agility orbs, which is weird because if you're running these two together, don't you want the physical orbs? Yeah, again, right? Like, it's just weird. By the way, let's get there up to max stats right there. Anyway, so physical orbs go into agility orbs, which is pretty cool. Attack and defense up 70%. Again, that's a really nice addition right there. Both of them getting that is really nice. And then she has the little weird part where it's HP 70% or below, and then Sarani, so on top of that, into orbs get changed into physical orbs. Again, I get the mentality behind it, wanting to, have her on the same team as her brother on the same rotation, or maybe different rotations, so that you can go ahead and get him the orbs that he potentially needs. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, still don't understand but anyway, I like I said, I get the mentality behind it, but at the same time, it's like, okay, sure, I guess, whatever. So anyway, so these two do Dokkan Awaken. They get Fierce Battle, which is pretty nice. Decent card art. I kind of like the 17 art card better. I'm not going to lie. That's some pretty cool art right there. 18s is okay, I guess. But anyway, so that's basically it for the androids. Now, let's go on to the big guy himself, the big one that we all been looking forward to, and it is, of course, the Super Saiyan Future Gohan, okay? He is the Future category leader, so Ki plus 3, HP up 130% right here, and attack and defense up 170%. So he's just like the SSJ3 Bardock for the SSJ3 category, except, of course, it's the Future category, okay? For once, we don't have a Gohan that has the Kaioken mechanic. He raises his attack for 1 turn, his attack and defense for 1 turn, and just that's it. It goes for 1 turn. So I guess you definitely want some additionals with this guy. Not really sure, but it's kind of an interesting thing, I guess. I mean, he has immense damage, which is really nice. In terms of his key multiplier, 150%. Okay, so kind of what you'd expect, I guess, like, you know, right there. But anyway, that's, you know, that's in terms of Gohan's basics right there. That's what he is. His passive, on the other hand, get a load of this real quick. So, Jibun no attack up 100%. Okay, so his own attack goes up by 100%. Okay, no problem. And then as your HP continues to drop, so HP got skoshi na hodo, defense up. Okay, so every time your HP goes down, your defense increases to make it a total max of 100%. Okay, so generally, if you're at pretty low HP on this team, then essentially you're going to have 100 attack up and 100 attack defense, which kind of makes sense, right? However, he already gives 170% defense in terms of his leader skill. And as of right now, you're never really going to get that low on HP unless you are literally trying to put him against, say, like Strength Jiren, and you want him to take the super attack or something like that. That is the only way. But at that point, it's like, why are you trying to do that? Like, that's just, I don't know. It's kind of weird in my opinion. And at the beginning of the turn, so ta no hajimeru ni mai, okay, mai, this kanji right here, oops, wrong kanji. That kanji right there, mai means every, okay? So basically, at the beginning of every turn, you will mitigate damage by 10% for every turn for a total of 50%, okay? So the Saigo no 50% right there, okay? So basically what happens is that the first turn he's out on the field, he mitigates damage by 10%. The next turn, that will increase by 10% again. The next time he comes out, I guess. The next time he comes out, it'll go up another 10%, another 10%, another 10%, to our total of 50%. And yeah, okay, so the dude's basically one big tank, and again, I'm going to give my thoughts on both him and Trunks in a minute. In terms of his links, they're pretty standard stuff. He at least gets prepared for battle, which is nice. Again, you are mostly going to be using this guy with kind of your typical future type category guys, but also are really from the future. And I'm going to show off the category here as well in a minute. So other than that, though, he's kind of basically what you'd expect now from a Dokkan Fest exclusive. The only thing is he doesn't have any kind of like transformation or any kind of thing where it's just like, okay, get below this amount of health or go this amount of turns, and then you get like some kind of power up or something like that. So he doesn't have that. I guess technically it's in his passive, but that's just simply more, the more you get hit, the more beefier you get, or I guess the more tanky you get, essentially. So anyway, so that's the Gohan right there. Definitely a good card. Very good category, because we're going to go over the category in just a second. But let's go on to the free-to-play Trunks. Now, of course, I just jumped straight to the LR version. No one cares about the SSR or the TUR. So anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at him right now. Again, we need max stats here. So he's the Max R. He is the future category. He's the free-to-play future category leader, which is pretty nice. Category Ki plus 3, HP attack and defense up 70%. Okay, so he's not really a baby leader. I count more of the baby leaders like a 30%. He's just kind of your average normal, I guess. Next, his super attack is as followed. Basically, his 12 key super attack is burning attack, and then his 18 key super attack is the one where he destroys the androids, essentially, is what he does. That one particular does get a kind of, not a key multiplier, but he basically gets a special effect, whereas with the 12 key super attack, just the burning attack, he simply just gets, you know, colossal damage. That's it. That's all it really is. Nothing special. Of course, if you have his SA at 20, a 30% chance increase, or a 30% increase in the SA, like any LR, basically. And then his 18 key super attack, for 1 turn, your attack will greatly increase. And that's only for 1 turn, though. It doesn't raise like a Kaioken mechanic or anything like that. So, and by the way, can I just say, that art is amazing. I love that art. I'm not going to lie. So, it's better than his physical LR Trunks. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. You know it's all true. You know it's all true. So, anyway, and then his passive / link skills. Let's take a look at this. So, passive. At the beginning of the turn, your attack goes up 25,000. Okay, so we kind of figured he'd get a flat boost, right? We knew he'd get that. And then, if you face 2 opponents or more, it's not or less, it's 2 or more, your key goes up by 8 and your attack and defense goes up an additional 20,000, okay? So if you're facing 2 opponents or more, basically you start off with 13 key and your attack is up 45,000 and your defense is up 25,000. Naturally, with an LR, you have high defense already, so that's pretty nice right there, okay? In terms of his link skills, though, why do they not feel the need to give these guys these like free-to-play grind out LRs, prepare for battle? Goku, I kind of understand because he's very old and it was kind of back in the times where prepare for battle was starting to take off. It's pretty much on any Super Saiyan. But Trunks here, he's been here a while. What the heck? Like, why does he not have prepare for battle? I don't get it. I honestly don't. He does get rebirth for some reason. I don't understand. I mean, I kind of get it, I guess, but at the same time, it's like, okay, cool, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, so that's his passive. And those are his basic links. So that means his link skills are basically any kind of normal Trunks. You know, he's got Dismal Future. He's got Pride and all that kind of stuff. Super Saiyan, you know, the basics essentially. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the category. And then real quickly, I want to give my opinions on the Trunks and the Gohan. So this is the category right here. Of course, Gohan being the leader and everything. Pretty much what we kind of expected. Goku Blacks, Trunkses, 17s, 18s. Of course, it has to be 17, 18 that literally says Mirai on it, or future. Okay, so make sure you look for that kanji, okay? And for anyone asking, yes, you can run this Trunks, the physical LR, and you can run this Trunks right here together, okay? This is the free-to-play agility one. Because this one says Mirai in the name, and this one just says teen, or technically adolescent, but I still call him Teen Trunks. I don't care what anyone says. So anyway, so you can run him on the leader if you want to. So technically, if you don't pull the physical Gohan, you could technically run this Tech Gohan, but you know, he's still kind of an outdated card, but you know, it is what it is. This into Trunks and cannot be run with this guy as the leader, but if you have the Gohan as a leader, then you can run this into Trunks right here. So just keep that in mind right there. Let's go ahead and take a look out here. The Vegetos are on here. We call Vegeta Blue kind of, you know, we kind of expected him because he was on the banner, you know, because he technically was in the future at the time. So, you know, I guess that is what it is. Rose as well. Zamasu, of course. They included all the Dragon Ball Super Vegetas and Gokus at Super Saiyan Blue. So that's kind of nice, I guess, you know, because technically at that moment from where these cards are from, I mean, heck, even into Vegeta's animation here is when he is pummeling Goku Black into oblivion, basically. You know, one of my favorite scenes personally from Dragon Ball Super. Super Saiyan Rage Trunks, of course. Merge Zamasu is in there. And then, of course, the LR Goku Black. So it was kind of expected. Now, two things that are from this category, are not in this category, that some people were kind of expecting are the any kind of cell, and then basically also the LR androids. Now, the cells, I'm not trying to defend it or not try to defend against or whatever the case may be, but Cell, I guess I kind of see it because he technically was never in the future. Yes, I know he's from the future technically, but it was his imperfect form, and I guess they probably felt the no need to just include his imperfect form, because again, that's technically where we saw him in the future. And yes, I know you could technically make the term that, you know, well, his imperfect form came back into the past, and that's from the future, so technically his future self's from the future. It's just like, that gets too technical. So whatever the reasons is, I honestly don't know. There are definitely some categories that they play around with, and they're just like, you know what, fine, we'll randomly throw this guy in, we'll randomly throw this guy in, and we're good to go, basically. So it's like, okay, sure, I guess, whatever. And then the second one is the fact that there's no LR androids. Now, real quickly, I do want to look at the LR androids because I know they're in here real quick. Where are you, LR androids? Where are you? Okay, so you're down here. So let's go and open up this new tab here. Let's just take a look at the LR androids, okay? Now, one thing that I guess technically, again, we're getting really technical here, is that the android 17 and 18, so Jinzo Ningen, Junanagoto, Juhachigo, does not have Mirai on it. Now, weirdly enough, it has a destroyed city background, which you would expect to be from the future, obviously, because they never do that in our current timeline, right? They're just, you know, they're adolescents, right? They're, you know, they're acting out like little teenagers, and they just need to go for Goku, I guess, for whatever reason. So, but this picture, the background picture is clearly from when they're from the future. So that's what a lot of people are going like, you know, technically it's this and this, and you know, again, whatever the reasons are for not putting it on, I have absolutely no idea. So, I mean, it sucks. It does. But I guess it is what it is. So anyway, so that's the category. Basically, it's kind of a weird one, I'm not gonna lie, because your hardest hitter basically is still gonna be your Tech Vegeto here, but he shares no over in a flash with anyone on this team. Absolutely nobody, which I guess we kind of call also as well. But at the same time, it's just like, oh man. So I'm assuming like a true optimal team, and again, I'll do a team build later for this kind of thing, but your main big optimal team is going to be STR Rose and the LR Goku Black on one rotation, and then technically it's going to be the Vegito Blue, and then probably this physical LR Trunks right here, okay? Now, yeah, as you know, as the calculations have been done already, is that you can technically, you know, the Tech Vegeta Blue with one dupe beats out the STR and the physical. However, I see a lot of people probably running STR over the Tech one simply because he works better, especially if you're throwing in this LR AGL free-to-play Trunks. He's going to link up decently well with the Vegeta Blue, especially because he has that rebirthing, which is pretty nice. So that's just something to keep in mind right there. Physical, I don't see be used as too much unless you don't have STR, then physical probably over the Tech one for most people. So again, that's something to test out. However, I will say though that if this category does get some kind of proper support unit, whether it's something like the Int Kale, where it's from some kind of story mode in Dokkan Awakens free to play style, because that Kale is really good. Do not underestimate her. She's a great support unit especially for a free to play card. Or there's a summonable one in the banner that we don't know of, or maybe it's some other banner that comes out later on. Then Tech Vegeta Blue will easily take the place of the STR one. So again, we'll just have to see how the category evolves, but as the way it stands, it's probably going to be one of your rotations. Just STR over the Tech one for most people would be my guess. So, all right. Anyway, to quickly finish this up, because I know I said I was supposed to do this. Gohan, overall thoughts on him. Great card. Obviously really powerful. Good leader skill. The whole 9 yards. We kind of expected that. I feel like the whole 100% up in the defense thing as you get less HP and mitigation damage is kind of redundant. I kind of wish he was a little bit more diverse, or I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but basically I wanted to be a little bit more unique. And what I mean by that is where I personally think, again, I'm not saying he's bad or anything. I'm just personally saying I think the 100% up is fine. You know, I think that's fine. I then would have either said, okay, have the 100% defense thing as you lower your HP, or keep the mitigated damage only at the 50%. I would assume most people would probably want the mitigated damage because that's going to be better than 100% of any day of the week. But instead of one of those two, I would have obviously made him a support unit. I would have made him some kind of smaller version of like what the TUR list does. Give your future category guys key +2, HP attack and defense up 30% or something like that. Heck, even make it super only or something like that. I don't really care. I would have liked to have seen something like that. I think that would have been pretty cool. I think that was a bit of a missed opportunity right there. You know, it is what it is. I mean, I'm just saying though, because of how redundant the both 100% and the mitigated damage in the current meta right now, again, the only one who's really going to be doing any kind of damage to you is like probably STR Jiren's and Super Battle Road. That's basically it. But other than that, it's just kind of like, was it really needed? I mean, just his category alone is going to make the guy tank at full health, no problem. So, I don't know. That's my personal thoughts on it. And then in terms of the Trunks himself, I know, he's a free-to-play unit, great leader skill, good super attack, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm still a little confused on the 2 guys or more scenario. This guy was literally made for Super Battle Road. He literally is made for that. You are not going to see his 18-key super attack that much unless you are literally building every unit on his team around this guy, because he doesn't have Prepare for Battle, he only has Rebirth, and that's basically it, right? And what events besides Super Battle Road will you actually go against 2 or more that are going to stick around for more than 1 or 2 turns? I'll wait. But most events these days are 1 opponent. Maybe you start out at 2, but then you defeat him in 1 to 2 turns. And then after that, you're just like, oh, well, now it's 1 the entire time. So this dude literally gets 6 key only, maybe 1 or 2, depending on what units you have with him. So I'm just saying it's a little weird with the whole 2 or above. 2 or lower, perfectly would have been fine. I would have been A-okay with that. Heck, even the flat passive I'd be fine with. But that part right there, the 2 or more, it's just like, ugh, man, that's something. I think what I personally would have liked is that, you know, fine, keep the 25,000 attack up, but I would have made it kind of like the STR Goku, you know, when he's in the future. Where is it? This one right here. I would have made it to where if you are facing 2 opponents or more, then you get an additional attack and defense up 20,000, and then you get the +8 key. Okay, so that way you keep the 25,000. So, I just realized, I guess technically, I don't know, either way. Anyway, it's a little weird, I don't know, that's just my personal opinion, so yeah. So anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments as always. Leave a like if you liked the video, subscribe if you happen to be new, and until next time, everyone, I will see you all in the next one.